Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your August 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, the source opening in front of us, it's a Celtic horoscope spread as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off how well knows astrology ice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Virgo. So Virgo's your 11th house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. And astrologically speaking, we'll be in Virgo season starting the 22nd of August. Currently, we still have Mars in there, although it's going to be moving to Libra at the end of the first week of August. Trying to think if there's other Virgo energy. Yeah, I mean, that's it at least for the month of August. There will be actually a second new moon in Virgo in September. So it's rare to have 2 new moons in the same sign in a year, but definitely a lot of energy flowing through your 11th house over the next couple of months, we might as well say. Alright, we have 9. 9th house energy for you guys is actually Cancer, and of course, we pretty much are just wrapping up Cancer season. We also have Jupiter there. Venus will be there from the 30th till the 25th of August. And yeah, 9th house in general points to philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs. And we have the North Node. So the North Node's actually in Pisces, which is your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children. So you definitely see some growth around that area this month, but we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 4 of Wands, Aries energy, and challenging that, we have the 2 of Swords, Libra energy. So definitely a contrast there of opposite energies, but what I'm seeing with this could be saying a couple different things. So given that this represents a house of work and daily routines for you guys, maybe this is a situation where you might have more than one career offer currently, right? And you're trying to decide which one you want to go with. But if that's the case, it looks like they both really are solid offers. So maybe that's why you are a little bit hesitant to make a decision, right? Because when you have 2 really good choices in front of you, it makes it harder to make that decision. For those of you, this could just be saying that this could be energy that's at play for you guys in general, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a work thing. It could be relationships, friendships, you name it. But it looks like what could be holding it back at this time is you just might be a little bit stuck in your head around which way to go with the situation. In the foundation position, we have Judgment. So yeah, so for some of you, maybe this is what's making it a little bit difficult, right? Because maybe there was something that you originally wanted. Maybe you started to lose faith that it would actually become a reality, so you might have pursued something else, right, in the meantime, because you're like, okay, it doesn't like this thing's coming through for me, let me see what this other option holds. And then the thing that you wanted back in the past might have come back into play as well, right? So that could be what's making it difficult, where you're like, okay, I started on this new path here because it seemed like this one wasn't going to come to fruition, but now here it is. Now what, right? So it could just be one of those things. Guess it's better to have 2 good choices than no good choices, right? But that could be what you're dealing with at this time. All right, in the past position, we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, so this definitely looks like something that you wanted to take action on in the past. So yeah, like I said, especially here we see 1 wand too, right? So like we said, it's a lot easier to make a decision if you only have 1 good option, but that could have been what happened. In the past, you might have had the 1 good option, and for some of you might have even started down that path. But now it looks like there's more than 1 good option, and now you're a little bit stuck as to what to do about that. Right. In the present position, we have the 10 of Swords. So given that we're not physically in August yet, you might not be feeling this energy yet, but this could just be saying that maybe when we physically do get to August, you might finally be in this energy, which at least given the context of what we're talking about here, it could be more positive as well, because it could just be saying that, okay, once we finally get to this point, you'll be ready to make your decision. In the near future position, we have the 2 of Pentacles. So Capricorn energy here, which for you guys is a communication house. So it could just be saying that even once you finally do make a decision in your head, right, we're like, okay, I'm good. I know which way I want to go. It could just be saying that then there could still be a little bit of a struggle on your part to actually communicate what that decision is, right? So for some, it just could be as simple as we have Mercury retrograde currently, and it's retrograde in a career house for you guys. So especially if this is around two job opportunities, right? Then yeah, we could see why that might be a little bit difficult because the Mercury retrograde energy could be creating that additional fog there. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Five of Wands. So yeah, so this could be an energy of a bit of conflict. Could be a bit of a combative energy, not necessarily a major, all-out blow-up, but something that could just be, a bit irritating in a moment. And this does represent the first 10 degrees of Aries. So for some of you, this could just be saying, as we wrap up the month of July here and start early in August, you might just be feeling that energy more than anything. But yeah, I feel like this could just be pointing, again, like we said, to the retrograde energy at play too. So I feel like, especially when it comes to communication in a public sense, right? So even like let's say through the lens of social media posts, things like that, just double check what you're communicating just to make sure you're actually getting your message across right. Because I don't necessarily feel like you'd mean for something to come across as combative, but it might come across that way with the retrograde energies at play. All right, in the environment position, we have the sun. So yeah, so I feel like this is saying that the key to actually coming to a decision that you are happy with would be to actually try to release some of the pressure that you're putting behind it. I feel like this is saying take the more light and playful approach, right? And I feel like your decision that's the best fit for you might come to you more naturally when you're in that energy. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Nine of Wands. So yeah, so this could be a fear on your part, right? You might feel like you're gonna have some setbacks financially. So again, like I said, at least it does appear that you have two good options at least. So I feel like you're just a little bit caught up on trying to make sure you don't make the wrong decision, which makes sense. But I feel like in a way, it's almost like you almost can't make a wrong decision here, which is the positive. All right. And in the outcome position, we have the Six of Cups. So this is actually a Scorpio energy here. So yeah, so of course this can maybe for some of you, like I mentioned, maybe there was an opportunity from the past that you didn't think was going to come to fruition, so you might have started to pursue something else. And if that's the case, I feel like this is saying that ultimately you might decide to go with that past opportunity once it does resurface. For some of you, it already did. Maybe for others of you, it will soon. But yeah, it looks like there's a desire for you to reconnect with the past in some way. And even if this is just more, like we said, career opportunity type things too, maybe this is going to say ultimately you might decide to go the route of something that maybe you were passionate about when you were younger, so you could just be reconnecting with that. So maybe you might have moved in a different direction for a while, and now maybe you thought this pathway was unrealistic at the time, for example. So you might have abandoned the thought of actually being able to do it, but now you might actually get an opportunity for you to do it that way. So you might say, okay, yeah, I actually would like to go back to that. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, so it looks like there's definitely a little bit of nervousness on your part around communicating whatever the situation's about. But yeah, like I said, it almost feels like there's two really good choices. So again, like I said, I could totally see why there's pressure behind that, but I feel like the positive side of that is whichever decision you ultimately do make, it seems like they'd both be pretty solid. So it's not like you're going to fall off a cliff with the decision you ultimately do make. All right, from the Four Agreements deck, we have Be Impeccable with Your Word, and it says Speak with Integrity. So that definitely makes me think of what we were saying there with the Mercury retrograde going on in your 10th house, but see what it says here. Get that to focus better. All right, so yeah, it says, say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So yeah, again, definitely, like I said, a positive message there, especially given that the Mercury retrograde for you is in such a public house, right? To where, you could say something and you might end up looking bad in a situation even if you didn't mean to. So hopefully that resonated. All right. And from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Happy Happy. There's the artwork, and the number is 26. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. The Oracle's message, your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. So yeah, so definitely a positive message there, and to me that makes you think what we were saying with the sun energy and the environment position. All right, the relationship message says there are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with and you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you just want to share. The appearance of this card in the reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship, and if you're seeking one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself, like bees to honey. So yeah, interestingly enough, that also seems to call back to what we were talking about with the sun and the environment position. All right, and the prosperity message says this is the time to take pride in your accomplishments. You're doing good work, providing exceptional service, and are well compensated for it. The world rains gratitude upon you, and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all you've done? Remember that your partnership with Spirit in this remember your partnership with Spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always known you could accomplish anything if it brought you joy. So yeah, that last sentence in particular made me think of the Six of Cups and the outcome position, right? So I would say if this is one of those things where you do have two good options in front of you, it looks like whichever one you feel like ultimately would bring you the most joy would be the best way to go. So hope it ever resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.